Hello, as the title indicates, it's time for another book haul. The books in this book haul come from a variety of places: a library book sale, a thrift store, and a couple of used bookstores. Since I have a whole bunch of books to show you, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the haul. The first three books I got from my library book sale. The first book I got from my library book sale was A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. A Wrinkle in Time is a children's sci-fi fantasy novel. It is about a little girl whose father goes missing after working on a secret government research project, and it involves time travel. I've heard really good things about this book, and I really like time travel books, so I've heard that this is a good one. The second book I got from my library book sale is Because of Winn-Dixie by Kate DiCamillo. Because of Winn-Dixie tells the story of a young girl who moves to a small town, and upon visiting the local Winn-Dixie supermarket meets a dog and takes it home. And the story follows her and her adventures with Winn-Dixie and how she changes and what lessons she learns because of Winn-Dixie. I guess that's where they got the title from. The last book I got from my library book sale was Interaction of Color by Joseph Albers. Joseph Albers was one of the most influential educators and artists in the study of color and color theory. My Design 2 art class in college covered mostly color theory, and it was one of my favorite courses because of it. And I wanted to have one of his books ever since then. I doubt I'll read this for pleasure, but it'll be nice to have for reference. The next book I picked up was from my local thrift shop, and it is this beautiful edition of Shakespeare's Complete Works. I think there's a little damage here, but it was only $2, so I can't complain. I haven't really read very much of Shakespeare. I think having this book will really create incentive to finally dig in, and it's just so pretty. The rest of the books I got while on a little mini vacation with my husband to celebrate our first anniversary. The first 7 books I'm going to show you are from a wonderful little bookstore called Just Books. The first book I picked up from Just Books is Running with Scissors by Augustine Burroughs. This is a memoir about the author and his childhood and when his mother decided to send him off to live with her psychiatrist. I've heard several people in real life tell me that this is a really great book, so I'm looking forward to reading it, and it's also a movie, so maybe I'll get to watch that too. The second book I got at Just Books is another book that several people in real life have suggested that I read, and it is Stephen King's The Gunslinger. It's the first book in his fantasy series, The Dark Tower. Like I said, I've heard really great things from people in real life, and hopefully I'll get around to reading it soon. The next book I got was The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. I've really been meaning to dig into her books, and I've heard they're excellent mysteries. I was looking for another one when I bought this and didn't realize that this one was a part of a kind of a series involving one of her main characters. I think his name is Hercule Poirot, but hopefully I can get into this one without having to read the other ones. The next book I got is also a mystery. It is Heatwave by Richard Castle. It is based off the characters from the television show Castle. Me and my husband really loved this show a while back, but we've gotten behind on it. So it was kind of funny when I checked out. Sweet Old Man accidentally gave us a spoiler. I had already seen it because Tumblr had spoiled it for me, but my husband didn't know, so he was a little disappointed. But I am looking forward to reading this book. The next book I picked up from Just Books is also a mystery, and it is called The Likeness by Tana French. This is a follow-up novel to her book In the Woods. This is a psychological thriller following a cop. In this one, the protagonist is called to the scene of a murder where the victim looks exactly like her, and the story kind of takes off from there. I'm really excited to see where her character went after the first book. The next book I got was Bridget Jones's Diary by Helen Fielding. It is a book written humorously by a lady who talks about her job, her self-image, and relationships. Diary formatted books were some of my favorite kinds of books growing up, so I'm looking forward to reading one targeted towards adults. The last book I got from Just Books is Eon by Alison Goodman. I bought the sequel to this book at a sale about a year ago, and I've been waiting to find this one, so I'm really glad I did. It's about a young lady who is learning the art of dragon magic in a society where it's only acceptable for men to, so she has to go into hiding. It sounds a lot like Mulan, but I've heard it's really good, and I'm looking forward to reading this duology. The next 3 books I got from a little bookshop called Carol's Bookstop. The first one is this beautiful paperback copy of East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I actually don't know a lot about this book or the synopsis. I just know that Martha from I Love Reading 65 mentions this book in nearly every video and really praises it, so I'm looking forward to hopefully reading it. And I was just really thrilled to find such a pretty copy of it with like deckled edges and everything. So hopefully I'll get to dig into this one really soon. The next book I got at Carol's Bookstop was Agatha Christie's And Then There Was None. This was the book that I was originally looking for at the other bookshop, and I was really excited to find this one. A little fact about this mystery, it is the best-selling mystery of all time, so I'm really excited about reading it. And the last book I got from Carol's Bookstop was A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. If you don't know, Clash of Kings is the second book in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, the sequel to Game of Thrones, and so hopefully I'll get to get into this big old book soon. Those were all the books that I got while on our little anniversary trip, and that was going to be the end of the haul, but today I found Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. I don't really know much about this book, but I've really been following the hype, and what really sold me on this book was a review that was on the inside that said, "Smart, textured, and romantic. Ethan's wry narrative voice will resonate with readers of John Green, as well as the hordes of supernatural romance fans looking for the next book to sink their teeth into." I usually don't get into supernatural or paranormal romances, but you tell me that something is like John Green and I can't resist it. And that's going to be all for the book haul. Thank you for watching, and if you've read any of these books, please let me know what you think of any of them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed. I am currently still reading Cloud Atlas by David Mitchell. What are you reading?